Okay, hi, my name is Vita. This is my very first YouTube video, so forgive me if I'm fidgeting and stuff. The reason why I'm doing this video is to talk about my big chop. I did my big chop about a month ago. Yeah, it was about a month ago. After, I guess, maybe like a week after my birthday. And the reason why I ended up doing my big chop was because I had lost so much hair from weaves. I guess I should start from the beginning. I've had weaves forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Ever since I was probably about 7 years old, I've had a weave. And so my mom was our primary beautician. I forgive her. She has done, she did the best that she could do with our hair. She couldn't afford to take it to the beauty shop, so she had to do it herself. She did the best she could. That's all I can say. I don't have any pictures to show you, but it was terrible. We had a Jerry curl when we were probably about 6. We didn't take care of that, so we lost a lot of hair there. And after that, we went from Jerry curl to braids, and then braids to weave ponytails. From weave ponytails, we went back to braids, and then broke off our hair on the sides. And then from there, we went to having tracks. So in about the 7th grade, I had tracks. They were the worst tracks anyone could ever have had in the 7th grade. I didn't take care of them. They were all matted and hideous. My mom was actually using glue to put the tracks in our hair at that time. And as anyone knows, if you use glue, it pulls your hair out. The glue remover does not work at all. It might as well just be water in the bottle because it does not do anything to remove the glue, period. So we did not discover that you can get glue out with grease back then. So we just used the glue remover and we're just removing all of the hair from our heads. So that made us balder. And then after that, I guess I'll fast forward. By the time I got into college, I was sewing tracks into my head, putting the cornrows and then sewing them in. But that was also pulling out my hair because I was sewing them in so tight because I did not know that it was gonna make my hair fall out at the time. But I was sewing them in so tight because I don't want no new growth coming in. And the tighter you sew them in, the longer it takes for the new growth to come in. And it just pulled out a lot more hair. And then my hair got too short to put the cornrows in it, so I had to go back to the glue. And then the glue pulled all the rest of the hair out. Just all the rest of the hair was gone. So I have some pictures. This is me the day of my big chop. I'm bald in the kitchen. My boyfriend took this picture. I was upset because I was bald. And it's just like upsetting. I had all these chemotherapy spots. I was calling it, I know it's probably mean if anybody had cancer. I don't mean it that way. But I was saying it looked like chemo head because it looked like it just fell out in just patches, like just fell out. It was just, ugh. And so this is a picture of me when I had nice weave. Let me get it up there. Ugh, it's crooked on that side. This is on my birthday. I paid $200 for that weave, and it did not last. It probably looked great for a day, and then after that, I had to take it out because it was all matted and crazy. I tried to salvage the weave and comb it and put the curls back in it and put a little set bonnet on it, and it just did not happen. It just didn't happen. Didn't happen for me. So I took it out, and I'm standing in the mirror before I did my big chop, and I got all this sick, dead hair on my head. And I'm like doing, I think I got a little hair dance. Anybody who has had their hair fall out and still try to wear tracks anyway knows what I'm talking about. And standing in the mirror going, I think I got a little hair right there. Maybe if I just pull this up like this, I can cover this up. And you're trying to assess how much hair you have so that you can still put the tracks in. It's like a drug addict or something. It was just pitiful. So I got my boyfriend's clippers out while he was at work, and I just shaved my whole head, just shaved it. It felt great to even do that. I remember standing in the mirror and I'm touching my little bald head and I'm like, oh my goodness, I shaved all my hair off. And then probably about an hour later, it really hit me that I didn't have no hair and there was nothing to be done. Like, that was it. And so I did get a little bit sad because I was like, well, what the hell am I going to go do now? I didn't know it was going to look like this. I can't go out in public like that. So I tried to wear wigs for a while, but we live in Texas and it's hot, and you don't want to be riding around in the car. It's hot when you first get in the car. You got that wig on, you're sweating. Even if you turn on the air, it's still hot. Your scalp's all damp. It's just gross. So after I stopped wearing the wigs, people's reactions were they varied, but for the most part, I got a lot of ugliness. Like when I was first, newly bald, where you can still see my scalp, people would just stare at me like I was standing at the line, in line at the Walgreens, and I could hear people like, "Did you see that girl? Did you see that girl? Look at her!" And like laughing at me while I'm standing in line. And that made me kind of think like, what if I had cancer or something, and I was like some chemo lady standing in the line dying, and I'm getting some milk or something so I can go home and take my pills, and these little bastards are gonna laugh at me. Like I hope those kids go to hell. So whatever, little bastards. So anyways, and then aside from that, recently even, I mean, people are just rude and stupid. Like people, not everyone, but a lot of people are just ignorant, and they'll say something rude to you or make a rude comment. I was at the mall, and there was this large group of guys standing in front of the Macy's, and I'm not paying anyone any attention because I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna go to this store and buy this or whatever. And I passed them up, and they just bust out laughing like, oh, look at her head, look at her head, look at her, all that kind of stuff. And people around me are looking at me because they're laughing at me. I just had to keep walking and just ignore them because they were ignorant. They were ignorant. I'm like, whatever. And I hate to go off on a tangent, but it really kind of upsets me because think about it. They were black guys, and I'm like, okay, I am a young black female trying to go natural and do something different with my hair. And instead of seeing me and being like, oh, good for her, she's trying to do something, they're gonna laugh at me. I feel like a lot of black men do not understand what we actually go through with the weeds and everything. Like we're doing that so that people will think that we are beautiful and people will accept us in society and think, oh well, black women are beautiful too. We want to be like everyone else, so we try to straighten our hair and wear weaves so that people can think that we're beautiful. So I don't know. It was just sad for me to see that they would react that way because they really don't know what kind of a struggle we all actually go through to look like that. So, anyways, so I just had to ignore them. They were ignorant and just go on about my business. But for the most part, my natural hair journey has been pretty good. I get to enjoy things like wind and water and things like that. Like before I have a weave, wind is not your friend. When you have tracks, anybody that has tracks knows that when the wind blows, you are holding your head down like, trying to stop the wind and cursing to yourself because you don't want your tracks sticking up and all that kind of stuff. And not being able to ride in the car with the windows down, not being able to go to the beach, having to sleep all crazy like a mummy, with your scarf on so you don't mess your weave up and all that kind of stuff. I'm just so glad I don't have to do that anymore. I can be a regular person. And it's so stupid to me that I myself did that for all of those years, like all of those years spending. If I counted all the money that I spent on weave, it would just be ridiculous. Like I was buying weave like every month, every month. And even so, I bought weave so much that when I went to the hair store, not only did the lady give me a 10% discount and know my name, she would tell me, "You back again?" every time I would come back to the hair store. So that lets you know how much I was buying weave. So I'm just glad all of that is over. I want my hair to grow back. I've never, ever, ever permed my hair again. So if there's anybody out there who is thinking about going natural, I think it's the best thing I have ever done. I just feel more beautiful and more myself than I have ever felt in my whole life. Like I feel like this is me, and I'm just so happy with it. I'm just so happy with it. So if anybody's thinking about it, I say just go for it. And I probably, since it's my first video, I'll see how this turns out, and maybe I'll be posting some other videos about things, just my opinions and stuff. And actually, in the future, probably within the next few months, I may actually be starting up a clothing line. So I'll let you guys know what is up with that. So I guess I'll be seeing you.